What?
Argentina's Peronists soar in election to steal runoff with radical Milei.
Israel and Iran laundering.
What?
How to stay out of Israel's war on Hamas. What?
U.S. Congressman Santos pleads not guilty to new felony charges. What's going on in the world?
Welcome to What's Going On in the World. Today is Friday, October 27th, 80 degrees in the middle of fall. I'm your host, Tommy Hausman, and I'm here with
Sarah Siles.
And Sarah's going to talk to us about how the economy is doing today.
Reuters has reported that there was considerable economic growth in the third quarter in the United States that was around 5%. However, economists are worried that there is a recession coming soon. More people are starting to rely on debt to fuel their purchasing, which could be a sign of a potential recession is coming. It is too early to tell for sure, though.
I am not an economist, but when I think about how our government deals with inflation and too much spending is to increase the interest rates, that ends up making the bank make more money, right? I think that maybe if we approached it maybe differently to where we raise wages instead, I think that maybe that would cause people to have more money, and it might still decrease spending. I don't know, but I'm just thinking about going this in a different way to where the same people at the top keep making more money and benefiting off of the situation that we're in.
But if more people have more money to spend, then they're going to spend more money, increasing spending once again.
I think you have a point. I just don't know what the right answer is, but I definitely don't think it's punishing the poorest among us.
No. Last Friday, Hamas released 2 Americans. On Monday, Hamas released 2 Israeli women. More people are still being held hostage. The U.S. is trying to figure out ways to negotiate the release of more hostages. Also, on Monday, Israel conducted another airstrike on Gaza. 436 people were killed. Within Israel, Arabs are being arrested under suspicions that they are giving inside information to Hamas. Volunteer security squads have been set up within Israel to patrol the cities. Israel has conducted numerous other attacks as well. In response to this violence, European leaders want to set up a humanitarian pause to aid the people of Gaza who are still being cut off from receiving outside supplies. The United States also continues to warn Israel to stop this violence. The United States is looking to Qatar as a mediator. On Wednesday, Iran assured the world that it would not interfere in this conflict unless Israel attacked them. If Iran were to attack Israel, they would face detrimental consequences from the United States.
Yeah, and other news about Iran, apparently Iranian-backed militia have been attacking U.S. soldiers in Iraq and Syria, and the U.S. has retaliated.
In other news about inflation, Argentina held their first round general election voting this past Sunday. The 2 leaders of this poll were Sergio Massa with 36.6% of votes and Javier Milei with 30.18% of the votes. Patricia Bullrich came in third, receiving around 23.8% of the votes. Massa is a moderate left-wing Peronist and is the current economic minister of Argentina. However, Argentina is currently suffering from an economic crisis with inflation reaching 138%. Many people still want Massa as president, though, because he and his Peronist values have promised to help the poor. Milei is a radical conservative who plans to hold a referendum on whether abortion is legal if he is elected president. He also wants Argentina to start using the U.S. dollar. He has also discussed the Chainsaw Plan, which will change Argentina's political and economic front. This is one of the most polarized elections in Argentina's history, and whichever candidate wins will take Argentina's presidential office this December.
So we have a choice of inflation and possible recession, or to get all your rights taken away. Going to be a hard choice for them, I imagine.
Now for news in the United States. In Lewiston, Maine yesterday, there was a shooting. 18 people were killed and 13 were wounded. The police suspect Robert Card, a U.S. Army sergeant at the base in Saco, Maine. In the past, he had threatened to shoot up the military base in Saco, and he had been in a mental hospital this past summer. The police are currently tracking him down after he ran away. Because of this, Jared Golden, a U.S. representative for Maine, has changed his mind about opposing assault weapon bans.
I'm going to go off track here just a minute to talk about guns. I think I would be remiss to let this opportunity go by and not say anything. Guns are the leading cause of death of children in the United States. Guns are the leading cause of death in children in the United States. Not car crashes, not cancer. Guns. Thoughts and prayers aren't doing any good. We need to do something. We need to take action. There's no reason for us all to have a military-style rifle that's capable of killing lots of people in seconds. That's not protecting ourselves. That's mass destruction. It happens over and over and over again, and we keep allowing it. And I don't understand why. There are so many things that we could have put in place to prevent this if we would have known he had that gun when he went to the mental hospital. If there were flags in place, there are so many things that could have stopped this. There are so many things that we can do now to prevent this from happening again. I think that Americans need to stop being afraid of losing something and start thinking about what they can gain by protecting our children.
This past Wednesday, Mike Johnson was elected Speaker of the House. He is a Republican and was a part of Louisiana's 4th Congressional District. As Speaker, he wants to help provide aid to Israel. He has stated that he wants to reduce the national debt and to increase U.S. security on the borders. He also has the responsibility to respond to Biden's request for money to aid Israel and Ukraine. I think that it's going to be difficult for him to get any laws passed because he's a Republican, but Biden is a Democrat, and Democrats have the majority in the Senate. They're going to be working against each other and won't get much accomplished.
I totally agree with that statement. I don't think they're going to get more accomplished, even though if he does say he wants to help Israel and that he wants to decrease the debt, because we've already been helping Israel and we've already decreased the debt this year thanks to the current administration. So I hopefully something gets done if he actually does want to do those things, but we'll see. His first reaction to the mass shooting was that now's not the time to talk about gun control. So, and he's also a election denier, and he also is prone to believe in conspiracy theories. So we'll see where this goes.
In less important news, George Santos, a U.S. representative from New York, was charged with 23 felonies. He pleaded not guilty and stated that he has no intention of resigning from his position. He has been charged with numerous accusations, including money laundering and lying about his assets. His trial will be held in September of 2024.
I don't see how he stays where he is. I do not see how he does not pay some sort of fine or maybe even go to jail. But it's a crazy world in which we live in.
Thank you for joining us this week for What's Going On in the World. I'm your host, Sarah Siles.
And I'm Tommy Hausman.
Tune in for our episode next week.
What?
Argentina's Peronists soar in election to steal runoff with radical Milei.
Israel and Iran's laundering.
What?
How to stay out of Israel's war on Hamas. What?
U.S. Congressman Santos pleads not guilty to new felony charges. What's going on